looking for, I will try to include in the comment section. So just check there and make sure you subscribe. If you have never seen my channel before and it's like your first time here, hopefully I resonate with you and you want to stick around. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your support as always. But let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to start with 3 oracle cards and then we'll do about 8 cards in terms of a spread. So we have the throat chakra, refusing to see, and love abounds. So I do think that the month of June is going to force you to speak up. There may be certain things that you have been holding your tongue and holding back from maybe expressing your grievances with, or even your irritation with. And it can come to a point to where you just feel like you can't bite your tongue anymore. You can't stop yourself from speaking how you feel. It could also be someone who's trying to communicate with you during this time frame, and they may be struggling with communicating effectively. So there may be some miscommunication issues throughout this month that you have to be mindful of. It also talks about there being someone who you care about who could lack certain self-awareness, like how they could make you feel at times when they shut down, or things that they may be refusing to see in terms of personal work that they may have to do in order for you guys to have a relationship. So I do see you feeling like maybe confronting this and maybe addressing this with your partner, but you could feel like this is a hopeless cause because of the fact that they just may not be willing to see it. I do also see you doing a lot of self-love related stuff, paying attention to like what your needs are and where you're emotionally standing, especially if you have been giving so much of this to other people in a way where it just has been feeling kind of exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's go deeper. What does the month of June look like for my Pisces just as a whole? So in terms of just the general energy for you, I have the Chariot. So the Chariot talks about overcoming some challenges, okay? There may have been some challenging months up until this point, but you're at a point to where you're able to navigate it, you're able to move past it, and you're able to see what's ahead of you. The Chariot also talks about accomplishment. There's some sort of personal goal that you could accomplish this month, like a weight loss goal, a financial goal. Some of you could be relocating or moving, and this may have been like a big goal for you because it's like maybe you don't like the environment or you want to change the scenery. But there's something that you're overcoming, and in you staying focused on the bigger goal, not really paying attention to like the moments where things are just, you know, rocky or thrown off, and just staying focused, you're going to be really happy in terms of how you overcome the month. This also talks about like trying to overcome a relationship's issues, whether that's together with this person, working through the problems, or separate. You doing your own thing and moving forward if necessary. Now, going into career and finance, I have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So it does talk about there being maybe certain people who are depending on you financially. This could be a bit overwhelming, like you paying for things for certain family members, let's say, for example, or there being a lot of just bills on your back while your partner's trying to figure out their finances, or you're a single parent and you could just really like to have a lot more of a buffer financially. I do think that the month of June is going to give you a chance to look at how to maybe cut back on certain expenses so that you can save more of your money. And if you also have, let's say, a dynamic where your relationship is, you know, your person may dangle money over your head or something like that, or try to use money as a bargaining chip or a tool, I think you guys will be paying attention to that too. What's another thing I'm seeing? Yeah, I see you guys like trying your best not to be wasteful with how you're spending your money. You could also feel like a job doesn't really appreciate your worth in terms of what you bring to the company. So some of you will be asking for raises, especially if you've been there for some time. Now, going into love specifically, what does love look like for June for Pisces? I have the 10 of Pentacles. So there could be a long-term relationship that you guys are trying to strengthen, especially if this is somebody who you may have children with. It's the question of like, can we maintain our relationship as parents and also romantically? Some of you could feel like You know, when you guys do try to get on like relationship terms while, you know, the co-parenting is going well, then there's certain things that you guys may butt heads with, and that just may be something to overcome. For others of you, you could be dating somebody who does have a family situation, and it's the question of whether or not they're still involved with the person they may have kids with, or if they do have plans to do this in the future, or your person could be doing this to you, like vice versa. Questioning you if you'll possibly deal with your past, even if it's not substantiated or it's not something that's, you know, backed by any proof of that happening. Also, the Ten of Pentacles just talks about like building a strong bond with somebody, irregardless of if it's a family situation or not. Some of you guys could be either seeing glimpses of being with someone long term where it's like, I really, really want to be with this person, or like things are getting really serious in terms of you guys like planning to move in with each other or talking about marriage. Now, going into the advice for this month, what's the advice for my Pisces? So I have the Five of Wands. The advice is to be mindful of people who have drama that wants to be projected onto you, or in being in their orbit or having certain people around you, knowing that their drama is now going to be your drama. You inherit their drama by being close to them. Okay, friendship, family relationship, whether this is a romantic relationship, any relationship where you know the person that you're close to, they could have their own problems, their own challenges, and you basically adopting the relationship will either consider you having to or not consider, will require you to consider the fact that they're going through these things, and you may be having to adjust your boundaries to some degree because of this, or their issues literally becoming something that you even feel like you have to take responsibility for. So be mindful of situations like this if you're not ready to do that. Yeah, I would say that's the biggest message. I would say protect your energy. Now, the challenge card for you for the month of June, I have the Page of Cups. So the challenge could be having someone around you who could be really immature. You could want them to grow, or you could want them to be more emotionally, let's say, grounded, and they're not really at that place yet. For others of you, the challenge could be like having new opportunities on the table, but not being sure if you should take them. You could have a bit of a fear of like, okay, if I take this opportunity, where is that going to lead me? Is this going to throw me off? Is this actually going to be a potentially good opportunity? You could kind of second guess yourself accidentally. Another challenge could be somebody new that you're trying to connect with, and you kind of questioning like, okay, is this real? I feel like we have a real genuine connection, but I don't know if I can trust that this is real long term. So that worry could be the challenge. Now, what to know going into this month or be aware of? I have the Moon card. So it's important that you're aware of your emotional state and how it can be projecting certain anxieties or fears or worries about the future or just in general onto your situation. Also, what to be aware of is people that can't be trusted. Okay, some of you already know, like, oh, I can't trust this person. But it's just letting them be in your space long enough to even show you they can't be trusted is something you need to be careful of. Knowing where to extend boundaries is so important in terms of who can be trusted and who can't. Okay, also be aware of someone else's anxieties and fears and how that could be holding them back, and how you don't have to accept this if you don't want to. Now, what to avoid this month, Pisces, I have the Queen of Swords. So this could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be any of those signs. This could just be thinking yourself out of opportunities, okay, or overanalyzing things. This could even be having distractions around you that are pointless. You really want to be mindful of just distractions that could just pop up out of the blue. Now, the last card, this is going to represent the outcome. I have the Knight of Pentacles. So the outcome of this month is steady growth. The Knight of Pentacles is a slower card, but it's a card of consistency. It's a card of steady growth. It's the card of rebuilding or building something up. And it's one of the more stable cards in the deck because it represents getting to that Ten of Pentacles energy where you build yourself up to a certain level of, you know, financial stability or relationship stability. There also could be an earth sign of significance by the end of this time frame. Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. But this is what I see. I hope that this was helpful and did give you insight in regards to what this month has in store. And I will see my Pisces in the next one.